Hello, welcome to another episode of Accessible Airwaves on CGSW 90.9 FM.
This program is dedicated
to the education and exploration of disabled life,
giving voice to the life and experience of people with disabilities.
We cover a wide array of issues and disabilities.
We are people who discuss issues we are passionate about
and topics we are interested in.
We show how disability is in the mind of the beholder.
Hi, my name is Morgan Gray.
And I'm Austin Riley. You are listening to Accessible Airwaves on CGSW 90.9 FM. We are talking to Brad Bartko, founder of Disability Accessible by Design and a consulting company that works with other businesses and organizations to make events and spaces more inclusive to those who have disabilities.
Welcome to the show, Brad. And how are you?
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm so honored to be a part of your show. It's truly an honor to come on and have a conversation with you guys today. I'm very good. It's as I said off air or just earlier. The weather's really nice here, and summer's coming, so we're all in a good mood right now. But most importantly, I'm very excited to be here and have a conversation. So thank you.
You're welcome. I am so glad you are here too as well. And here's the first question.
Can you tell us about Disability Accessible by Design and the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, 100%. And thank you for asking. So Disability Accessible by Design really started out of lived experience. I'll be 31 years old here in about a month. I do have a cerebral palsy or CP for short, and I do use a wheelchair to get around my house and get around the world. So I was just tired of the world being so inaccessible and so inconsiderate with people with disabilities. And people with disabilities are the largest minority on the planet. We make up a good minority, and that's something we all have in common. Is we're all going to become disabled in some way, shape, or form, whether that's physical, mental, invisible, short-term, long-term. Whatever you want to classify or think of, we're all going to become disabled in some way. So it's very important to become proactive in our thinking and our designing and our architects and all these different things instead of just kind of slapping something together. So my wife's got a background in construction. So with her background and my lived experience, we have 40 plus years together. So when COVID hit, I was kind of in between opportunities. I really didn't know what to do with my life. I was 28 years old at the time. And one of my best friends, we've been best friends for 22 years. He sat down with me one night and he goes, "Brad, why don't you start a disability business?" And I really didn't know what that meant. I really didn't know, what he was talking about. So we had a conversation. He goes, "Look, you're charismatic, you're funny, people like you, people will listen to you. You could be that person to make change." So I went home to my wife. We had the conversation, but I had a bad experience when I was 18 years old. I had a bar manager. I had to use the bathroom, and I had a bar manager look at me dead in the eye and tell me the reason he wasn't accessible and inclusive was because he didn't get many people like us in his bar and his restaurant. And I don't know about you, but that made me angry. So I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to create change, and that's what we did. And believe it or not, fast forward almost 3 years ago, that bar manager that told me that, they were my first ever client. So we started in bars and restaurants, and that's how our business started. We wanted to train people to just be really, it sounds funny, but just be better human beings, how to treat people with different disabilities, because I'm sure you guys can agree, all people with disabilities really want is to feel heard, feel wanted, to feel accepted, right? So we need to sometimes give them the tools to do that because some people don't know, and other side, some people just don't care. So we need to show them that we're important as well. So we did 36 bars and restaurants in the first 6 months of our business. We really exploded, and then now we're doing massive projects. We're helping build hockey arenas in Sherwood Park. I was just in Calgary this weekend at the Sledge Hockey World Championships. We were touring that facility and arena there to get some ideas to bring them up to Edmonton. But yeah, it's been a crazy 2.5 years. It's been really fun, and part of my motivation is the government told me I'd never amount to anything. I'd never be a contributing member to society. I'd never, do anything. I'd never accomplish anything. And here we are doing exactly what they told me I couldn't do. And when you're given 24 hours to live, and way back in the day, I mean, I'm blessed to be here. I bring a lot of energy to what I do, a lot of passion to what I do. So I hope that answers your question.
First, want to say I am so sorry that happened to you, and I feel the same way as you, and I like that vibe. I love what you're saying, and it's so powerful. I love that.
Thank you. It's not a business for me. It's a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And when I look at when I look at both of you and doing, I can see the passion. And quick side note, my initial background is radio and TV. So I went to school for radio and TV. So I have an immense amount of respect for both of you. It's tremendous what you're doing, and I'm so glad to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And here's another question. For our listeners that may not know, can you tell us more about cerebral palsy and how literature and spirit?
The best way I can explain cerebral palsy is there's many different forms. There's many different variations. None of us are ever alike. We're all kind of different. Some of us can walk. Some of us, are nonverbal. So there's many stages. But I have a mild form of CP or cerebral palsy and severe spasticity. So the best way I can describe it to people is my bones grow faster than my muscle. Really, all that means is I just need to, I need to take extra precautions and extra steps when I'm, getting out of bed, when I'm transferring to my wheelchair, when I'm getting in and out of a vehicle, all those different things. And another way I describe it is when the weather changes, especially in Alberta, we know we get winter a lot of months of the year out here. My bones my muscles get very tight, and it gets very hard to move, and not painful for me. I'm very blessed that way. When I was born, I had a brain bleed. My mom was 16 when she had me, and there was no fluid in the sac where I was born, so a dry amniotic sac plus a brain bleed. That's also some of the effects of why I have cerebral palsy today. But it's not a disability that's going to get worse. It's not a disability that's going to get better. It's just something that I continue to live with.
Wow.
Wow. So the next question. We know that starting a business can come many new learning experiences. Have you had any setbacks when starting your company? And do you have any advice for others starting their own businesses?
Yeah. I think we all have challenges. We all have setbacks. And for me, my biggest challenge was there was nothing like this on the market. We were the first ones, especially in Edmonton, the first ones to do what we do. So there was a fear of what's the reception going to be like? What are people going to think? But also on the flip side, I sat there and I said, if nobody's going to do it, then why not me? If I'm not going to do it, then who's going to do it? I would challenge people, especially in the disabled world, that if they want to start a business, just go for it. Just go for it and use your ability to your advantage. Whether that's using your voice, whether that's you're a painter and you use a paintbrush or whatever that is, and let those abilities shine through. And let those abilities overcome that fear of maybe what are people going to think about me? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? I'm going to use both of you as an example because we're here. I got to do it so that you guys have an easier time and an easier life continuing forward. I got to do it so there's no doors that get closed on you. They get closed on me maybe, but they won't get closed on you in the future. I got to do it. I don't know if you can see my jerseys up on the wall. I'm a huge sports fan. So I'll use a sports analogy for the people listening and for you guys. When I look up at the wall, I see greatness, I see championships, I see Hall of Fame, I see all these different things. I can never be them. There's only one of them. And guess what, guys? There's only one of me. But my motivation when I get up every day and I have those challenges and I got those days where I don't want to get up and do anything, all I have to do is look up at these walls and see these jerseys because I want a little boy or a little girl to have my name and their jersey on their wall with my name on it. And he's the reason why we never gave up. He's the reason why we're here, and all these different things. So that's what motivates me to get to the next level. And I guess that's my message to everybody is just keep going because it will happen. And if not you, who?
I am smiling right now. I love for speed. And here's another question for you. What kind of service and training are offered at DisAbility ABD?
Started offering training to staff of bars and restaurants to make sure that, it was simply a lot of them didn't know. They got awkward around people with disabilities and they didn't know what questions to ask. And if I don't ask questions, it'll be fine. And it was the polar opposite. I wanted them to ask questions, but I wanted them to ask me questions. I want them to ask you questions. I don't want them to ask your friends. I don't want them to ask your mom or your dad. I want them to ask you questions because you feel included, you feel engaged, you feel wanted. So it was training their staff on how to do that and simplifying, making it simple, making it easy. And the next step that we took with my wife's construction background, she would do walkthroughs of the restaurant. So, hey, the bars in your bathrooms are not installed properly. We need to move them. Your bathroom's not big enough. Here's some things that we can do. And now we're more involved in construction. We're reading a lot of blueprints for new construction. So there's a new hockey rink going out in Shore Park, and there's 4 hockey rinks in this facility. We want to make sure that this facility is as fully as inclusive and fully as accessible for everyone. That's where we come in with the lived experience. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much.
We know you speak at advocacy events. Can you tell us about previous events you have done?
This is also a huge passion of mine. I love speaking. I love doing events like this, and especially knowing that it's ran by people with lived experience. I spoke at the Dean Conference in Edmonton. It's an employment conference to hire people with different disabilities, but also the barriers and what kind of barriers that we need to knock down to make this an inclusive workplace. I speak obviously about our business and the work that we do. I've been on numerous radio shows. This will now become my new favorite radio station, especially listening to you guys. It's another avenue to share our story. It's another avenue to share our business, and hopefully the world will hear us one day.
And thank you for including us how does her work benefit those with or without disability?
I would like to think we're beneficial for people with disabilities because it gives them strength. There's not everybody, and I'll use you guys as an example as well. Not everybody could be like us, right? Not everybody can get out there and speak and get out there and have the courage to share their stories. So that's exactly how I want to be beneficial to our community. I want to give people the strength to, you know what, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what disability you have. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter your gender. None of that matters. Your disability is your power, your superpower. And I want people to understand that they, in whatever way, they can take control of their lives and make an impact, whether that's small, whether that's a big impact, whatever that is. So go and we're the prime examples of that, right? Like if somebody might be listening to your show on a weekly basis and maybe they're struggling, they're getting bullied at school or whatever it is, and they listen to your show and they go, wow, if they can do it, why can't I? So then it's helping them, and your show might help them find maybe what they want to do. Maybe it's something that you talk about on a weekly or monthly basis that it hits them and they go, oh wow, I want to go make that change. I want to go be that person, right? And I think I would hope it has a bigger impact on the disabled side because of that. Because there needs to be more of us out there. There needs to be more of us taking control and being a voice and fighting back, right? That's saying, you know what, this is not okay for you to put a label on me. This is not okay for you to put me in a corner. This is not okay for you to do any of this. I am a human being first, and so are you. And we need to be treated like that and respected like that. And as for the other side, the non-disabled community, I hope that they hear our story and your stories and they want to help. Whether that might not be help financially. That might be help, my nonprofit, I own a nonprofit as well. Our goal is to build a fully accessible house and give it away to somebody in the community. We want to give away a house. So my hope is that somebody on the non-disabled side hears this and they go, hey, I want to help build that house, right? I want to come together. I want to create a community. I want to show that we belong together, and that's what I hope our business can do, and show people that no matter who or what you are, there's a spot for you in this world.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next question. What reaction do you get from the community about disability ABD?
Quite honestly, the reaction's been great. I have people that come up to me, they'll see me at the mall, they'll see me at the grocery store now. I wear a t-shirt with my logo on it or a sweatshirt, and I got hats and stuff that I'll wear, and people will start to notice our logo because we've been on TV and we've done now different things, and we travel the country. We're traveling the country with the Great Outdoor Comedy Festival to make their event successful. We'll be in Calgary this summer as well, and Halifax and all these different cities. But people will come up now and they'll notice you. It's a funny feeling when you get another grown man or grown woman or whatever it is to bring up your logo on a piece of paper or a t-shirt that they bought that I didn't know they bought because they bought from our store, that they'll come up and ask me to sign the logo. And it is so surreal. They'll ask for a photo, a signature, or the coolest thing about what we do, guys, is the youth that I meet, the young adults, the little kids that come up to me. They have a disability. They might have the same disability I have. It might be different, but they come up to me and say, Brad, your story gives me strength. Brad, your story motivates me to do better and get better. I want to be like you when I grow up. And you know what, guys, that makes me emotional at times. But it makes me want to do more. It makes me want to get better. It makes me want to push the envelope and do even more for our community.
That's right. Yeah, I do have a disability with my talking. Yeah, problems with that sometimes. And you definitely inspiring person.
Thank you. When I hear the word inspiring, there's so many different ways we can take it. Obviously, I can say thank you and I appreciate it. I take it with me. But I want to inspire you to go make change. I want to inspire you to be at our charity events when our company hosts a charity event. I want to inspire you to come donate if you can donate, or volunteer if you volunteer. All these different things. I want to inspire you to actually do something. Yes, it's a word and it's a powerful word. But what if we linked a word with an action and we started to move forward together?
Wait, yeah, that is true. And yes, I have a question. Do you receive a positive feedback story from her customers?
Number one being the comedy festival I just talked about. I met the guy named Mike Anderson. He's the president and owner of a great outdoor comedy festival, Trickstar Entertainment. They're based here in Edmonton. They hired us for the Edmonton show last year. And we helped redesign their website. We helped, anything the day of. We helped, if food trucks were in the way, we made sure those were accessible. We made sure there was a clear path. We made sure signage was visible. All these different things. And I got to tell you, when we seen our logo on stage with Bill Burr, Kevin Hart, all these major comedians, I kind of teared up and I said, wow, we made it. And I guess we made such an impact that they've hired us back this year, and they expanded to do 8 shows across the country. So Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Halifax, Winnipeg, Ottawa, Spokane, Washington, all these different places. And they've hired us to travel the country with them and do all their events. So when I talk about positive impact, clearly that's not just a local positive impact now. Now we're expanding. Now we're changing and really benefiting the country. They're adding 4 new shows next year to the U.S. and the United States. So we'll be going down there and expanding as well. So that's been fantastic. And another great quick story for you too. The Sherwood Park Event Center that is being built in Sherwood Park, Alberta. It's 240,000 square feet. It's a massive, massive arena. It will host their pro hockey team in Sherwood Park. But we're going to make a massive impact there and build a facility that is fully accessible. So I'm really excited about that. That'll open hopefully in 2026. So hopefully you guys have me back on before then and we can talk about the finished product.
For sure, yes.
Are there any plans to expand outside of the Edmonton area?
Absolutely. Alberta's the only province now that does not have a disability legislation, meaning there's no real codes for us to create change. So we need to push for that. We need to start to make change at a provincial and a federal level. But the whole country is very, very behind when it comes to accessibility, when it comes to inclusion, when it comes to that big conversation of people with disabilities. It's a scary thing for a lot of people, and we need to make it normal. We need to have that difficult conversation and make that normal. It's not weird unless you make it weird, right? And 100%, we're going to expand across the country. We're going to expand across the world. And guys, hot off the press, and I don't do this to brag, and I'll tell you why. I want people like me. I want to hire consultants all across the world, okay, that work with me. Yes, they work for me, but they work with me. We work side by side. That we can hire all sorts of people with disabilities and give them a platform, give them a voice. You have a home here. You have a place here where you belong and you can shine and all you need to be is the authentic version of you. You don't need to be anybody different but you. And that is our plan. That is our big goal, our big vision. People call me crazy all the time, but guess what, guys? Crazy people and pretty soon disabled people will run the world. And I'm going to be here for it. I'm excited.
Yes, I love that.
My next question. Is there anything our listeners can do to get involved in accessibility advocacy work? Or any resources that you would recommend to them?
Yeah, 100%. Volunteering, charity work, hiring people with different disabilities, hiring people like us to make sure your building's accessible, your restaurant's accessible, hiring us to speak, whatever that may be. But there's many different ways. But I would say start there. And simply, all we got to do, guys, is ask questions. Ask how we can help the disabled community, because those questions could go a long way.
So true. Is there a you want to add?
Yeah, I guess I'll keep it brief. I just encourage people to reach out, and you can find us obviously www.disabilityabd.com. If you do want to volunteer, we got a ton of volunteer opportunities. It's www.hopecampaign.ca. So that's hope, HOPE campaign.ca. That's where at the end of the year we want to build a fully accessible house. But for 364 days before that, we want to give back to the disabled community. So if you got somebody in your community that's disabled, maybe they're less fortunate, they don't have opportunities like everybody else does, and you want to nominate them for something. That could be a gift card to a restaurant. It could be hockey tickets. It could be movie tickets. We could pay a bill for somebody. We want to do something every single day for someone in the community and just uplift them and make them better. Over Christmas, over the holidays, we were able to give away a power wheelchair for Christmas. And we're going to do this every single year and give it away to somebody. So stuff like that we continue to do, and we continue to hopefully be a trailblazer in this community. And I'm really excited. And I guess one last thing I want to add, it's such an honor to be here today, and I truly mean this. This is something obviously near and dear to my heart, near and dear to your guys' hearts as well. I've never been a part of something like this, guys. I've never had a radio show that has been ran by two amazing individuals with unique abilities, and I'm truly blessed and truly honored to be a part of today. I hope you got something out of today. This is what you expected. I hope you bring me back, and I hope to, if there's anything at all that I could do for you guys, please reach out to me anytime. And you got a friend and an ally in me now, and I'll definitely be cheering you guys on from the radio airways up here in Edmonton. And I'm really excited to watch this thing grow and be back on. I can't wait. So thank you guys so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having on our show. You are listening to Accessible Airwaves on
CJSW 9.9 FM.